The blame game begins. Huge fight at a Hollywood party. The Sussex empire collapses as Harry pushes back against Meghan. From the minute that Harry and Meghan first touched down in California, Harry put all of his trust in his evil wife Meghan Markle to figure out their new path in life. After all, she was supposedly this Hollywood born and raised actress who was absolutely filled with ideas about how they could make life work now that they were no longer privy to the palace purse strings. And Harry just followed her blindly into these big entertainment deals, and he spilled all of his family's deepest and darkest secrets on TV and in his ridiculous memoir Spare. But now people in the US are finally figuring out what is up with the couple, and they are turning on them. Rolling Stone magazine has branded the pair flops only last week, and New Idea magazine sources confirmed that Harry has finally come to realize that Meghan's big plan was not all that it's cracked up to be. A source reports he truly believed they had a future in America. This was her world, as she put it, so he put all his eggs in her basket. They're losing deals left and right. Now even Z-grade celebrities are laughing. And as Meghan and Harry are having to just deal with their public fallout, sources say they are privately waging a war against each other. The insider insists that the two of them are blaming each other for their very public downfall. It's all smoke and mirrors, and Harry's finally starting to see the light at long last, according to the source. Now, interestingly enough, a second insider, somebody who is based in Montecito, has revealed that tensions between the two of them are so high that Harry and Meghan were forced to call off their planned 4th of July festivities. The insider says they had a huge party planned at their home, which they canceled just 3 days out amid a series of rows over their Hollywood dream falling apart. The source went on to say, following the fallout on the weekend prior, Meghan was left with no choice but to cancel. The source reports that at the last minute, specially erected gazebos were taken down in the backyard, and Meghan instructed the planners to call it off, leaving guests feeling absolutely shocked. It has become abundantly clear just how bad things have become, according to the spy. With nothing left to lose, people close to Harry maintain that he is finally beginning to push back against Meghan, making big life decisions on their behalf. His compliance is over, and he's sticking up for himself finally, says the source. So, do Meghan and Harry really understand what a horrible image and reputation they have? Or are they just as unaware of this as of most things that happen around them? It seems like Harry really doesn't have a clue of what's going on around him, as he views himself as the only person in the whole world with problems. And Meghan only sees herself as the paragon of virtue, basically a saint, and she sees an angel every single time she looks in a mirror. But I don't know that they're really as unaware of things as they act like they are. I think they are aware of what's going on, in fact. I think they thrive on it. See, it gets attention for themselves, and it gets them some free publicity. They are, after all, media whores, and they are completely out of control. Now, supposedly, they do read social media on a daily basis, so they have to realize that people don't like them. And they're also trying to stop all media that is critical of them and their behavior. Apparently, it's hurtful, and they don't think they deserve any of it. I would love to have the chance to talk with both of them individually and figure out why they think they should be so popular and so loved by everybody. I would love to ask each of them what exactly makes them believe that since they left the royal family, they should be adored all around the globe. It would be fascinating to figure out what really makes Meghan tick, if she could ever reveal anything of herself, that is, and what gives her this self-confidence to just know that she deserves nothing but the best in every little thing. Meghan is so sure of herself, she believes that she is so talented and she could take on anything and succeed. I would love to know why she believes that. I would also like to ask her if she really is so talented and so amazing, then why did it take her such a long time to get a regular acting role? And even then, it was only in a Canadian legal soap opera. If Meghan really is so supremely talented, why was that talent not seen earlier by people? What went wrong? Seems to me like nobody has actually asked her questions that may be a little bit uncomfortable to answer. Nobody has challenged her in any way whatsoever. And now that Meghan is a duchess, she is almost sure that nobody ever will. After all, as she herself said to Lady Cosgrove in Australia, "Don't you know who I am?" I do wish that interviewers would ask them these questions. But see, part of the problem is they will not sit down for an interview unless they can be sure that difficult questions are not going to be asked. And if they do get some difficult questions, then they should be allowed to give nonsensical answers, just like we saw on Oprah. Meghan Markle is convinced that she is Mother Teresa and Nelson Mandela all rolled into one. And Harry doesn't know up from down. He has to be led all the time by his manipulator and keeper Meghan Markle. They know their reputation, they just don't care about it. because they believe they know better all the time. Meghan just uses people and then she throws them away whenever they have outlived their usefulness. Meghan has even won awards and had them taken away at this point. Now, one award that she got was taken from her because of that catastrophic car chase. People are starting to understand what a delusional, narcissistic pair the two of them really are. They are so self obsessed and they really believe that they are victims. But at the same time, they do know that most people despise them, and they know that they're not welcome in the UK anymore, which is why Harry just scuttled in and out so quickly, and Meghan Markle refuses to come. They're also losing support of people in the US, Australia, and Canada, because their behavior towards the late beloved and respected Queen Elizabeth was so abhorrent. Their behavior, though, is pretty typical of narcissists. Meghan and Harry believe that they can do no wrong, they're perfect, and anyone who dares to criticize them is just a devil in disguise. Now, these are increasing by the millions every single day. Their imperfections and faults are all too real, and I think there are some more painful lies to come, if, of course, you even want to pay attention. And eventually, I would hope that Meghan and Harry catch on, or maybe not. But it doesn't really matter because now it is way too late for them to turn back. They have already crossed the line, and that's what they wanted. I'm not sure they're ever going to fully understand their bad image and reputation. See, the Hollywood celebs are pretty smart. The London royals are incredibly smart. And Meghan and Harry believe that they are perfect. They're a couple of ostriches with their heads in the sand and their bottoms sticking out. I would also love to know who that little red-headed girl with her back to the camera was that Harry was holding on the 4th of July. She didn't look like she was even related to the one photo we have seen of the child they refer to as Lilibet. Are you confused? Because I know I am. And royal expert Ms. Julia Sand has weighed in, explaining they know they are considered a laughingstock, but what they don't realize or consider to be factual is that they only have themselves to blame. They have made some public statements that suggest they are aware of the criticism they have received, but they have also continued to make controversial statements and decisions that have further damaged their public image. For example, in their interview with Oprah Winfrey, they made a number of claims about the royal family, including that Meghan had been subjected to racism and that Harry had been cut off financially by his family. These claims were widely criticized, and they led to a decline in public sympathy for the couple. More recently, Harry and Meghan have been criticized for their decision to produce a documentary series for Netflix about their lives in California. The series, which is called Harry and Meghan: An African Journey, has been accused of being self-serving and of exploiting the royal family. It is possible that Harry and Meghan are just unaware of how their behavior and their statements are perceived by the public, but it's also incredibly possible that they're aware of the criticism they get, they just choose to ignore it. At the end of the day, only Harry and Meghan know for certain whether they're aware of their declining image and reputation or not. But their recent behavior and their recent statements do suggest that they might not be as worried about their public image as they should be. Now, their demise was inevitable, and the royal family has remained silent, and they have just allowed those idiots to crash and burn by their own actions.